All right, so I had a really interesting UFO revelation that I want to bring up, and I'm like, oh, everything's starting to click. But before we get into the craziness, um, I want to bring up something that I thought was pretty interesting that just happened, and I'm like, okay, maybe we didn't know the whole time. So, do you remember when we used to go to all you can eat sushi all the time?
Yeah.
Right. All right. So, what did you like? Why did we do that?
Why did we do that?
Yeah, yeah. Like, what? Why did we do that? Like, is there a reason why we always went to all you can eat sushi? Is it like, was the food good? Did we just like to hang out with one another? Like, what was the point?
Probably all of that.
Okay, okay. So you'd say that it's because the food was good and like we just wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking about that. So Tara and I went to all you can eat sushi. We hadn't been in like so long, but I was like, all right, let's just like go again because I love all you can eat sushi. But that's from what I remembered as like growing up because we'd always go, right? Like from kids till like adulthood, we'd always go to all you can eat sushi. But I would argue that actually the sushi isn't that good. You can get much better sushi if you just go to like a good sushi restaurant. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And one thing that I was noticing was like a lot of people were getting takeout. So like they just get like a couple boxes and I was like, well, if you just paid that all you can eat sushi, you can like just have unlimited amounts of that food, right? And Tara was like, yeah, but they don't want that experience. And I was like, what do you mean? And then it hit me because like as we got more and more full, like she stops after a while. Like she doesn't like playing that game where you try and like eat as much as you can, but I love doing that. You know, we always like, all right, who can eat the most? And then like, oh, you take one for the team. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we ordered
Yeah,
too
that's probably when we
much.
were younger, but as I got older, I wasn't doing that. It was just getting too much. It was like,
Okay. It was getting too much. Okay, okay, okay. All right, dude, that's so interesting because like my sister was saying that before. Like, when we used to go, like me and her, we just like hang out and then we just go get all you can eat sushi because I just loved it. And then she was like, "Oh, I don't want to get all you can eat sushi. Like, it'll make me feel bad." And I was like, "What do you mean, bro? What do you mean?"
yeah.
Well, like, I actually hit that point where I was like, "Oh, this isn't fun and this isn't very good." That
Hmm.
was my most recent experience, and I was like, are we getting older or is it like was it bad the whole time and that's all you knew?
Yeah, probably that. Yeah. I don't think
Right?
it was. I don't think it was. It's
Okay.
just bad. I think we didn't go. We went as a group, right? It was just a way
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that the only thing that we knew at the time to get some
To like
sushi.
hang out.
Yeah.
Or like yeah, get sushi, right? But we were like, oh, you can also just go like to the plaza. But it always felt like if you just got like six rolls of sushi, you're like, well, I could just buy all you can eat.
Yeah.
So you never wanted to get sushi because you're like, I could just get unlimited.
Hmm.
Like you agree, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like there were these kids there was like an adult like really old people right next to us and they got like a bottle of wine and they were eating their sushi and like it was a very social experience and there was a group of kids behind us and it was almost like they were like on a date but then like one was like just joining them on the date and then I realized like oh that's your only getaway as a kid,
Hmm.
right? Like, do you remember like going to all you can eat sushi is like, well, we know for like the next 2 hours we can just stay here and like hang out. Everything's covered. It's like that was such a kid thing,
Yeah.
right? And
Hmm.
it's like, was it? I'm just looking back at like other things that we do, and it's like, was it only good because we were kids, or were they actually good?
I think many things are just because we were kids.
Isn't that mind blowing? Because you're like, wait, no, we had no choice as children.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what
Of
I mean?
course.
Like it was just
Right.
all we had, bro. It was all we had.
Hmm.
Like was playing basketball outside really that good, or is all we had?
But
Because
that's
now they
all
have
that we had.
climbing gyms. No, no, right, right, right. But they have climbing gyms now, right? So like I see the after school kids and like the high school kids that'll come over from like Pope or whatever, and then just like they'll spend all this time climbing. They'll have like a spare, remember like spares in high school, and they come
Sure.
climb. And I was like, this might have been sick if we were kids, actually, you
Hmm.
know? And it's like I'm just hitting this point where it's like, were things good? And I keep revisiting like old albums, stuff like that, and it's just like were these things good or were they good because of our limited perspective?
Yeah.
And
That's why. I mean, that's with anything, right? That's why I like what's coming in the future or now, like compared to what was there before.
right,
Yeah.
right, totally, right. And it's so weird to me that like, why would you ever want to go back to? Because you know, like when you hear people like, "Oh my God, it was so good back in the day," or like, "It was good, it was good," but like for what we had though,
No, I would say it's different. I think it's more
Okay.
that you're only saying that because there's a comfort there because you don't understand the new world. Or you're
Damn, this guy hit a truth right here. Okay, okay, go, go, go. Yeah,
right. It's just uh, you don't
that's
like you
true.
didn't grow up with the new technologies or whatever that's changing, right? And you just feel like you're out of the loop in that way. So you always thinking that the past was better, but that's because that's all that you were comforted with, right?
God damn, Bish, that is correct. Like, no, I didn't even think about that until you said it. I'm like, oh my God, that's it. Yeah, that is it. It's like it's an uncomfortability with the current time. So you're just like,
Mm,
oh, it was better back in the day. Oh, the music was better. Oh, the food was better. Oh, playing outside as a kid was better. Like, it was great to be a 90s kid, right? Because we were at the cusp of like no internet and internet. So we got to see the transition. But
sure.
because of that, we like built, um, what do you call it? Like, we built like hacks
Mm-hmm.
because like the internet was so new, you had to figure out like Pirate Bay, or like Mega, and it's just like if you're listening, you know what Pirate Bay or Mega is. It's like it's just piracy that we just grew up with, like like Kazaa, Shazam, not Shazam, Kazaa, and like Napster type of thing, right? Because like the internet was so like piratey in the beginning, but now it's so locked down that like it's a different world. Like everything's established,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like the Wild West. And then now is like cities. So like there's so much surveillance in cities that you can't really get away with the same things you did as a kid.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I think that's why it was cool to be at the cusp of like the merging point between like the old and the new.
Mm-hmm.
Because like our parents are like still struggling with the internet. Like, well, what is this thing? But like to us, we're like, oh yeah, no, I get it. Like routers, yeah, internet. Where's your route? Where's your like? You probably need a booster to increase the signal, type of thing. You know what I mean? Whereas like you didn't need to worry about that now because you're like, well, we have fiber optic cable.
Yeah.
But we remember the days where it's like, dude, this would take forever to like download one thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And like, do you remember like burning CDs,
Yeah.
right? So like you'd buy a burner, and then if people don't know what this is, you'd like it's like two CD discs, and then you'd copy one CD to the next CD. So like you could burn like PlayStation video games, you could burn like albums, stuff like that. You just leave it in there and make an exact copy. But that was illegal, and we would do it
Well,
because
it's
it's like,
illegal if you sell it.
yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
because it's
didn't
your
know that.
property. You can do whatever you want with your property. But if you're selling it, then it becomes illegal.
Okay, okay, touche. But Pacific Mall, not Pacific Mall, Dragon Center, where they'd sell the games, and you just like go in, there'd be a
Yeah.
catalog, and you'd be like, I want this,
Yeah.
and
That's illegal. But
Uh,
anyway.
but there's gotta be like statute of limitations. They can't go back and like, where's the evidence? But I'm just saying, like that
Sure. Sure.
was
Sure.
something
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
would do, and like it's so crazy to like perpetuate that mindset as we go forward into the digital age because it's like how can I hack the system? How can I like replicate this in a different way than like than like is the standard way?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think that's what built a lot of our DIY mindset. Like outside of punk rock and like all that stuff, it's just like we just had to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Other people were innovating at that time as well, and it's like how do you innovate just like them?
Yeah.
you know? And there were standard ways to do it. Like you can go to school and like you learn how to code, but it's like, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to learn how to code. Like, how do we fake it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's like a rare skill that is kind of being lost nowadays because you could just chat GPT things. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? For example, like even our design, that the new design is like, oh, just chat GPT, like make me this. And then it made us the cover art, right? So it's like, yeah, there's like easier hacks to it now, but it's like, where's that creative spirit? You know? Do you
Yeah.
still
That.
see that, or like I don't know?
Yeah. That. Well, we only see that kind of ramifications 10 years down the road, right? The generation that are
I
growing up with it
guess.
now, right?
Okay, okay, but like when we look at media, okay, so I went back and listened to a bunch of albums, right? Like Good Charlotte and like Blink-182, Green Day, and they were so anti-establishment.
Mm-hmm.
There's a song called "The Anthem" by Good Charlotte, and it's like basically about like how you don't want to follow the mainstream, you don't want to be like everyone else, you want to be your own person, right? And like those are the lyrics. And I actually knew the whole album word for word, and which is crazy. And then I was asking Chad about that, ChatGPT, and I was like, why do I remember all these words? It's kind of weird. And he was like, oh, it was an encoding. It wasn't just like you were singing the song. It's like an encoding into your brain when you said like, I don't want to be like you. like find your own way, blah blah blah, right? And it's like that kind of shapes your character. And I'm like, do kids have that nowadays? Do they have like what if you're just listening to like electronic music with no lyrics? It's like, okay, so how do you push the boundaries of like this is wrong, this is right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like if you look at like the Beatles, right? They're like anti-war. Blink 182, not Blink 182. Good Charlotte was like anti-establishment, right? And it's like if you take away lyrics and you take away art and you take away like free thinking from the next generation, it's like how do you even think outside the box?
Right. Yeah.
Do
I
you
don't.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
cause
yeah, I get
yeah,
that. Yeah.
like are you seeing it? Like I don't see it.
No, no, I
Cause
don't
I'm
really see
looking
that.
for like new albums. I'm like, it's mostly just like they're singing about nothing, you know?
Mm, maybe I don't. I haven't listened to anything new, so in that way.
But I mean, like even on the radio, you haven't heard like the new hits. Like,
No, even on the radio, they're still playing old songs too.
true, true. What when you say old songs, like what do
I
you mean?
mean,
Like
like
our
old
generation?
in our generation. Yeah.
Isn't that so crazy that we've become that generation? Like Green Day playing the Super Bowl was like when we saw Bon Jovi playing the Super Bowl, like, ew,
Right.
Bon
Yeah.
Jovi, and all the parents were like, oh my God, Bon Jovi, and now we're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh Green Day,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and it's like all the kids are like, oh man, they're so old, but it's like there's something about okay, this is gonna sound super like conspiratorial, but I think it's true. Okay, Tara's like the most conservative person. Like not conservative, like the safest person I like not safe, like what's the word? It's like and I'm very like punk rock. You know, she is like to a degree, but like also likes to keep it like safe. She's like pop punk. I'm like punk rock. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
like, I I remember during COVID, I was like, dude, something's going on. This is crazy. Like, blah blah blah. I'm like, and I'm like, oh, I don't trust the messaging, whatever. And then everyone's just like, yo, you're just a COVID denier, blah blah blah. I'm like, so negative, you know. And then we were like driving yesterday, and she was like, "Oh, the world really changed after COVID." I'm like, "Finally, finally, you're saying the same thing. Like it's normalized to say, oh." The world was changing during COVID. And during COVID, I was like, dude, do you guys not see all this weird like lockdown stuff? Remember when I was getting blocked for like quoting like something that it was a Dragon Ball Z meme that I posted, but I used the quote that was from COVID and they blocked me. And I was like, what? And it was like that quote is blah blah blah. I was like, it's a Dragon Ball Z reference,
Mm-hmm.
you know? It's about like strong hard times make hard men, soft
Yeah,
times
yeah,
make
yeah,
soft
yeah.
men. Right, right. And then it was like stuff like and then the UFO stuff, like me posting about UFOs and my account being blocked. I was like, that's crazy, bro. It's
Mm-hmm.
like this goes against our terms of service. I'm like, yeah, they posted like 100 things that day, and then the one UFO thing, you're like, oh, this is going against our terms. So I was starting to see like, oh, there's a weird shift, you know. And then she said it yesterday, like, oh, there was like 9/11 and things changed, security crackdown, and there's COVID and things cracked down again. And I'm like, yeah, that's what they're saying. There's a weird crackdown that's happening in the world today.
Mm-hmm.
Centralized digital currency. Like, I'm not to the crazy conspiracy level, but I'm like, I see what you guys mean, bro. Like, even talking about like punk rock lyrics, like, I don't want to be like you. Like, let's be nice to everyone, blah, 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 right? And it's like, that's kind of gone. Like, I'm not hearing that in the media. And it's like, what's going on? Do you see it too? Or am I just like total
No, but
conspiracy
were
nut
they in
though?
the media at the time?
Good Charlotte?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were blasted on everything. Like I put it at
No,
work,
no,
and
no. I'm
everyone's
saying
like,
like in the
"Yeah,
general media.
yeah, they were. Yeah, they were super popular. Blink 182, Good Charlotte. No, no, they
Mm-hmm.
were like, because there wasn't that many. The thing is, like now you have so many artists that like you don't know.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I can
also
still
true. Yeah.
find,
Yeah.
right? Like I can still find certain ones, but they're not being popularized. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of good rap artists that like are talking consciously, but they're not being promoted. You
Mm-hmm.
know, unlike Drake, right? So like that's what I mean. During the time, there was like this huge rush of like they would just like we all knew who these bands were, and we all knew the songs. Like I played the song, like Tara knew the song, my coworkers knew the song. You know, it was like a cultural moment, and I'm seeing that like these cultural moments are starting to shift, and it's like media and art was our way of like expressing ourselves, and it's being constrained now.
Yeah, I think that's probably because that we have so much access to it. That before you only have limited avenues of where you can get the music, so you had to be different in order to actually reach the audience.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right
yeah.
now, it's very difficult to do that.
For sure. Dude, do you remember like in the early 90s, like every rap artist was different? Kanye West, totally different from DMX. DMX, totally different than 50 Cent. 50 Cent, 50 Cent and Ja Rule got into a fight because 50 Cent's like, you're copying me.
Hmm.
Remember like the rough voice type of thing? Or no, was it DMX and Ja Rule? I can't remember who it was, but like somebody was copying another and they're like, oh, you just sound like me. And it's like, oh, don't want to sound like
Sure.
another person. Eminem sounded just like himself. Like there's no other Eminem,
Yeah, yeah,
you know? And now it's like everyone's a cookie cutter. Not to sound like, because everyone's like, oh, that's the new people always say that. But it's like, if you really look at it, that's actually kind of true. Like everyone, I can't tell the difference between one artist and another artist.
yeah. Hmm.
They're all kind of just doing the same thing, you know? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
remember like Takashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know him from like even like Lil Nas X. Like I know your like music is different, but visually you guys are kind of following the same genre of like crazy tattoos on your face and like weird hair. It's like, it's like
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
there's no individuality anymore. And I'm like, is that just because we're so flooded or is like the commercialization trying to like follow the trend? Like I've heard that you want to make your songs like TikTokable.
Yeah.
And it's like, but then what happens to the art? What happens to the truth? Because art is where how we express like truth, like Banksy, like street artists.
Hmm. But there's not
Do you feel
many
so?
Banksies though,
Yeah,
right? There's only one.
exactly. But there was a Shepherd Fairy. There was like Obey Giant.
Hmm.
So it's like there's two. And it's like whatever happened to that? We don't
Well,
really
I
do
think
that
that
anymore.
yeah, I think that they're having a harder time even reaching their audience. Those types of people. It's just more easier to blast out music that are, as you said, TikTok friendly, those kinds of things that people just uh, do memes to or something like that. That's what works.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Totally, totally. You have to like it's called crate digging in like the
Hmm.
music space where you have to like go through the crate and you have to like dig through all the albums. It's kind of like that now. Like if you really want good music, you have to like search for it, bro.
Yeah.
Or go back to like the kind of classics. It's just like I'm just feeling a weird I don't want to say control system, but it technically is a control system.
Hmm.
Like overweight. It's like don't get too weird or we won't boost your algorithm. That's what it is, bro. It's algorithm boosting,
Yeah.
you know? Which is so crazy to me. It's like that's what we care about, bro. Like, can I hit the algorithm? No,
Yeah.
really though,
Yeah.
right?
That's
You know what
true.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not even good anymore.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
like, can I hit
actually
the
no. You know
algorithm?
what? Yeah, adding to that, yeah. Then, if that's the case, then you're only doing things that will appease a general audience. That's what the algorithm means.
Yeah. Or you're appeasing the meta gods, bro. Because like they're like, oh, this is like my alien stuff being blocked. It's like, oh, you just pissed off the algorithm, bro.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what is that? Like what? Like
Well, that's AI.
it's weird though.
Yeah, that's
Like
what we're
okay,
giving our power to in a way, right? It's the algorithm that's doing it, but then it's only pushing out general things because that's the most views that it could get. If it's very obscure stuff, or it doesn't believe that this thing is ever popular, right? Which is a
yeah.
lot of the cases. Like a lot of these things probably would be popular, but they're not being heard because the algorithm, the way that it's programmed, is designed to only think that certain things are going to be popular and not others.
But is it popular or they want to push an agenda?
No, no,
That's what
no.
I'm like.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just our lack of understanding how, because sometimes you don't even, like when they were picking music before, they don't know necessarily this is going to be popular. It is something that you're trying to reach an audience, right?
And
Or
then you lost money
right, and
if
you
it
could
like the
lose a lot of
artist
money with
flopped.
this, but that's those are the risks, right? But here, you're designing an algorithm based on certain parameters, and that
Okay,
doesn't
okay,
mean
fair.
it doesn't mean it reaches everything, right? It is a general aspect.
Okay. I don't want to go into UFOs yet, but here's a tangent. Here's like a slight related topic about UFOs. Stephen Greer is like after everything I'm hearing, I'm like he sounds the most credible. Like everything is linking back to what he's been saying, Stephen
Hmm.
Greer, but he's not popularized on mainstream platforms. And he even said this. He's like, I'm saying the truth, so nobody's gonna popularize me. And I'm like, ah, come on, bro, that's not real. And then I'm paying attention to all the UFO stuff. I'm like, oh, what you said links to what he said. What you said links to what he said. How come nobody's interviewing that guy?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's weird. That's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
is there an agenda there? Like, you're right. I think maybe it started off as like we just want to maximize money, but there's also a control system there. It's like if we don't want this information to get out, it won't be getting out.
Yeah, that's also true. Also, who owns it, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Epstein files,
maybe.
bro. Like, how come nobody cares about that?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever happened to that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's like, it's weird that we're not like really paying attention to it. And then we all pay attention to like, I don't know, like general things that are just like, that doesn't really matter at the end of
Yeah,
the day.
that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Have you heard about this? Like, have you heard of this thing called Call Her Daddy? This
Yeah. The podcast.
podcast, yeah, podcast. Call Her
Yeah.
Daddy. Do you know anything about it?
Not too much. I just knew about it when I think it was Kamal that did an interview on there. I think that's
Okay,
all I knew.
Sim. Okay. Okay. So Tara's really into like pop culture type stuff. So she was like telling me about like Call Her Daddy, and I was like, oh, that's like what Michelle Obama was on too. She's like, yeah, yeah, they do kind of that stuff. But like basically, if anybody has like a relationship issue, they go on Call Her Daddy and they spill all the tea. So like there was this like musician, she broke up with her boyfriend, she went on Call Her Daddy and spilled all the tea. Like that podcast is all about spilling all the tea. Okay. And and so the right now in that world, what had happened was it was run by two girls. Then one girl took a deal, kicked out the other girl, and got all the money, right? And like she started to like become popular. Okay.
Hmm.
So then she was trying to make so as she was getting popular, the original girl, she wrote a book and she's like, I'm gonna do all this tell all stuff. And then that became like, oh no, what's the tell? What's the secret behind the Call Her Daddy thing? And then this TikTok influencer who's like super famous, she sold like, she released like a makeup brand and she sold like over $1 million in 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Okay. She's super popular. And then she was going to go on Call Her Daddy. And then there was like a weird issue that happened that nobody knows about. And then they're beefing online. Okay. I don't care about this. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is like three girls I don't care about, bro. Like, okay,
Sure.
sure, right? And then, and then I was like, who cares about this when there's like a freaking war in the Middle East right now, bro?
Hmm.
And then Tara made a good point though. She's like, what is thinking about that war going to do? And I was like, fair point. What is like, what was that going to change on my end?
No, no, that's true.
But like, I'm not going to go protest, bro. Like, what were you saying, right? And it's like true, but it feels like that's weird to me that like this trio, because she's not the only one, right? Like she's just into pop culture, right? So there's so many people that are also into like this is like the breaking news in the
Yeah.
world of like pop culture,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So like, well, why are we focused on that, bro? Until like this is crazier. Like we're like close to nuclear destruction. What are you guys saying, bro?
Hmm.
You know? And that's where I feel it's like that's a weird cultural shift or like perspective shift or like consciousness shift. You're
I
like,
think that's
don't pay
always
attention
been
to
there.
this, pay attention to this.
Yeah, it's always
Okay,
been
what
there.
do you mean?
Uh,
Like,
in general things, I think that's always just news only focuses on those sort of things, but there's always going to be entertaining things because I don't think that this is
okay.
real stuff. It's just entertainment. That's why people watch it. It's just drama.
Oh, I see. It's sort of like we're watching Temptation Island right now, and just like, yeah, it's just like just
Yeah.
Temptation Island, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All I'm saying is like, it's weird that we have this juxtaposition of things that don't really matter and things that really freaking matter,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like we're like, hey, how come gas prices are high? The war. Why are gas prices going the war? Yeah, but did you pay attention to this Call Her Daddy thing? I'm like, bro, the prices are crazy because of this war, man. You know what I mean? But it's like, well, what are you gonna do about that? And it's like, true, true.
Hmm.
Like, so what do we pay attention to? Is it just like spiritual growth? Like what like do you just pay attention to yourself? Like in this world of crazy conflicting, in this world of flooding the zone with information, like what do you pay attention to? Question mark.
I think that's what makes you go around the earth, kind of thing. Like just something that.
Like, what do you mean?
Oh, I'm just saying like
Like,
things that you like to do or things like that. That's what I'm saying. So if you like these kind of
oh, so
drama
it's like whatever you
entertainment,
want.
yeah.
Okay, but my worry is that how we just let other people get away with stuff?
Uh, well, what do you mean? Who?
Like, like if we all care about like Call Her Daddy and we don't care about like what happened to the ICE thing and them killing people, it's like it's like then your behavior gets shaped unknowingly. So what I mean by that is this, like Tara and I are like, we're not going to the US for any vacations because like I kind of slightly out of protest. I guess that's something you could do, like out of protest, but like it's just too crazy there, But like if you get like my hygienist is like, I'm going to Florida, and I was like, oh, it's kind of crazy. But she's also Caucasian, so like it's totally fine. So like I'm just wondering like if if we don't know what's going on, do you just blindly walk into things? Or like when you talk about shaping behavior, it's like you vote with your dollars kind of thing, you
Hmm.
know? Maybe that's what we can do. Cause you're like, because Tara's like, oh, what can you do with that information? Vote with your dollars. Like just don't buy that thing, buy this thing.
Yeah.
For us, a hobby said that. He's like, oh, it's anti I forgot what the I'm not too into what he was talking about. So like he was like, oh, it's like if it's a part of this union, we're not gonna buy it,
Sure.
you know? And it's like, maybe that is what we need to do. Like
Hmm.
undo our Disney subscriptions because they kicked off Jimmy Kimmel. Remember
Right.
when that happened? Like they kicked off Jimmy Kimmel and then
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like unsubscribed.
Hmm.
And then it forced them to get Jimmy Kimmel back on. It's like maybe that is our true power. It's like we vote with our dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like this information is important, but you don't want to feel like powerless to the information,
Hmm.
you know? Like I bought the S4 Bob Lazar stuff because I want to see more of that stuff. So it's like, okay, like voting with my dollars here,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all that being said, it's like, do you see now after everything we just talked about, like a manipulation, a control system? Maybe that's the hacking of the system. It's like it's that punk rock DIY mindset. It's like, how do I hack the system? Okay, I can't protest, but I can vote with my dollars.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it just feels strange.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think. Um,
Or you think I'm totally off base here? Like, are you just like, what are you saying, bro?
no, it depends on each scenario. I would feel like.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. 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 All right. Let's go back to health and then we'll jump into the UFOs. Because when you say different scenarios, I'm like, okay, this is because I feel like we're on the precipice of a whole new world because of UFOs. And I'm like, dude, we're right there. And if we don't pay attention to this, like, you're just, it's, you know what it's like? It's like AI.
Hmm.
It's like, or like the internet. I feel like if you don't know anything about UFOs, and then like we switch. Like, what if tomorrow they're just like, yeah, we're a part of an intergalactic civilization? People be like, what, bro, what? But I'm like, knew it.
Sure.
Like, oh yeah, I've been watching that. So that's the thing. It's like, and then like with the whole control of information, then it's like, are these our enemies? Are they not our enemies? But I'm like, no, they're not our enemies, bro. But then people are like, how do you know that? And it's like, just do the research. It's like, it's been too long to do the research. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, we need to pay attention to the important things because if something big changes, we need to be like caught up.
Hmm.
Maybe that's what I'm getting at. It's like you can care about the Call Her Daddies and all that, but it's like if you don't, I just don't want to be blindsided in the future. Like, oh, there's a conscription for Canadians to go to war in the Middle East. Bro, I didn't even know we're at war. It's
Hmm.
like, were you not paying attention to the news, bro? Like, you know what I mean? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like we need to stay ahead of the curb,
Sure.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It has nothing to do with like your interest. It's just like to get blindsided would really suck.
Mm-hmm. Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah,
you agree with that? Yeah.
yeah.
All right, cool. Quick tangent back to health because this was really interesting. So, with the all you can eat sushi, did you ever notice that we don't feel good after eating all that sushi?
Because we eat too much.
Bro, I know. It's like too much like sodium, too much like I don't know, rice, so like carbs or something. But like the next day, so like I'm still recovering. It was almost like I had a sushi hangover, bro. Because like all of my all of my allergies kicked in yesterday. I was like sneezing and like my body was in so much pain. And it's like, oh, this is because of the sodium and like the excess rice is like making its way out of my system. Like I'm detoxing yesterday, right? And like when your allergies are basically just like um, inflammation in the body,
Mm-hmm.
like all joint pain, allergies, all that stuff is just inflammation, bro. And your body's trying to kick that. And in the process of kicking that, you feel like trash, right? So
Yeah.
like if we because most of my meals are eaten at home, I'm like, how many of us are just living with inflammation? We think that's the normal. Because when I was into like sushi and stuff, I didn't notice a difference. I was like, oh, this is just how I feel. Oh, I have a lot of allergies. I don't know why. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But like going from like 0 to 100 is like we don't even know that your body can feel a different way. That
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like even that is a control system, bro. Because like we like if you look at the way society's structured, it's not very conducive to having a family or even living a healthy, active lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree? Or no, like think about like you have to commute to work, you have to wake up to commute, and then like, okay, well I'm working, I can't watch the kid. How do I make enough money if
Sure.
I need to watch the kid?
Mm-hmm.
Or like how do I go if I go to the gym that night, I'm gonna be tired for work tomorrow, and then that won't be good. It'll affect my productivity. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like that in itself is a weird control system as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's like what is work food? Because I don't work in the office, so like, what is work food? Like, is it like cafeteria food
Well, I don't know. I mean, I make my own food to take home or take to lunch.
to take to work, right? But do people like because you see restaurants like at the bottom of like the bank towers in Toronto, right? So you're like, oh, they must be eating takeout every day,
Yeah, I
or
think
they
so. A
must
lot of
be
them
eating
do.
like,
Yeah.
right? Or they go to like when we were at we went to this like really fancy restaurant downtown, and it was at the top of the bank tower, and then at the time we were eating, it was just all bankers
Mm-hmm.
just eating there, like because like they got off work and they're eating there, and it's like that can't be if you're just eating that all the time, do you know that that's affecting your body in a specific way? And then you're thinking like, well, I need to make money because I have like to pay for the four cars and the kids' soccer games and the big house. You know what I mean? And it's like, maybe this is the rat race hamster wheel. This is the Good Charlotte. Like, I don't want to be like you song.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's like a 9 to 5 rat race that we are all kind of sucked into, but it's like how much you want to be sucked into that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like, because there's like 9 to 5, and there are people that like work overtime
Mm-hmm.
that like will work until like 9 p.m. or like they'll like message people at like midnight. I'll see the timestamps. I'm like, bro, it's not that serious. Like you don't need to timestamp me and like message at like 11 p.m. at night. It's
Mm-hmm.
weird, you know? And
Yeah.
they even had to like introduce the time to disconnect or the right to disconnect policy. Remember
Yeah.
that from,
Yeah.
right? So like all these signals, it's like, is this a system that we were told about that's turning out to be true?
What do you mean told
Like
about?
so like as a kid, like listen to Good Charlotte, Blink 182, all that pop punk stuff was like, no, I don't want to join the corporate world and like whatever, whatever. And like for a long time I was living that way. And then I started like working and it's like, oh no, it's really good, but you have to find your like healthy balance. Like me working from home and like just straight 9 to 5. As soon as it hits 5, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And like it's like and then like prioritizing like like jujitsu, climbing, all that stuff. It's like you find your pocket,
Hmm.
But I feel like a lot of people just like fall into a hamster wheel,
Sure. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's like, it's like, that's how you get trapped in the matrix.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and this is the thing that they warned us about. And it's like, now I'm old enough to see it. I'm like, oh yeah, people are trapped in the matrix, bro. And that's not good,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. I don't know, thoughts?
No, I agree. Yeah.
It's weird, right? It's weird
Hmm.
because you're like, and I feel like if you just don't consciously think about it, have you ever heard of lifestyle creep?
No.
Okay, so lifestyle creep is like you start making more money, so you start adding things to your life, and then you're like, oh crap, I'm trapped. Because
Hmm.
you're like, so it's like, it like slowly, it's not like, you're like, well, I could just add that car. Oh, well, I could just add this. I could add that. And then like you realize, oh, I have so many things on the go that like if I lost my job, I'd be screwed,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Yeah, right. So like that is like something to be consciously aware of. And it's like that is the trap. That is the hamster wheel. If you get
Hmm.
caught in lifestyle creep, it's like you have to pay for those things,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, but this all goes back to the control system because then it's like, guys, you know that there's a hamster wheel, right? If you exceed your lifestyle, you're gonna be trapped in the system. But it's like, no, but I care about like call her daddy. It's like, no, bro, like this is
Hmm.
more important. You know what I'm saying? And but nobody's educating you to that. Nobody's like, hey, watch out about lifestyle creep. Actually, technically, they are. There are. There's a lot of people that talk about this, and like they just don't promote the podcast as much.
Well, yeah.
Like I listen to these podcasts.
Sure.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's important. But it should be like ubiquitous. It should be like, you know,
No, I get that, but they don't have the money to promote it, as you said. Yeah.
no, it's Diary of a CEO. Like that guy's super famous,
Hmm.
but it's like I don't. There's just something here that's like society did us dirty, bro. They just didn't tell you, and well, some people were telling you, but it's like not everyone was telling you, and then now you're like, bro,
Hmm.
what is this thing? Do you know what I mean? Like, did anyone tell you what being an adult would be like?
In a way, yeah. It depends on what you mean. Sure.
Like, okay, give
If
me
you
an
were paying
example. Like,
attention, I think so.
but that's what I mean. It's like,
Right.
it's
Like
like you
if
have
you
to
weren't
seek out
paying
the information, right?
exactly, yeah. You have to. You have to. People could be saying things to you, but you're just not paying attention. Like that's also a possibility, right? Um, or you're just not interested in caring about that information at the time.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it's like the onus isn't on them; it's on us too.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's not popularized, but also it's like you're not ready to hear the information.
Or yeah, you were gonna ignore it
Ooh,
anyways.
that's interesting. I never thought of it like that. That's true. Because I was like, well, they should just make the information more popular. But it's like, well, I heard the information.
Hmm.
So then it must have been some popular somewhere.
Yeah.
So why is that? Why don't we want to hear it? Oh, goes back to um like self ownership.
Hmm.
Like you're like you have to take ownership of your own actions, and we're like, no, I don't want to, bro. We want to stay like safe.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard this before, where it's like once we left the womb, we've been looking for another womb, which is like when our parents, like we had our parents, and then it became like the government, and the government's like our parent now. It's like you have the best interest for us. You know what I mean? Like we don't really think in terms of like self governance and you know
Yeah.
self reliance. You know?
Hmm.
Oh, the government will take care of that. You know?
Hmm.
Do you think that way is dying or no? You think that'll stay in perpetuity?
Which way is dying?
Like the lack of um the blind belief in another. Like, do you think people are waking up, or do you think people are like,
Oh no, no. I don't think that's ever gonna go away.
really?
Yeah. We always
Okay.
fall to that. I feel.
The most comfortable situation.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Because the most, like when you look at what society is a collective of people, right?
Hmm.
And the majority wins the vote. So if most people just want to be comfortable, then that's why we'll have all the holes we'll be having.
Hmm.
It's kind of sad. No?
Yeah, that's our human nature.
Yeah, but like, what does that mean for us, bro? Like, no,
Sometimes it's
like,
good.
for,
Sometimes it's
uh,
good. If you got a good leader, sometimes it's not good when you don't have a good
no,
leader.
what I mean is this. What I mean is this. I don't, I, what, totally, I get what you're saying. I, what I mean is this. I don't want to wake up at like 70 and look around and be like, ooh, that's a lot of problems I see of like other people in my peer group,
Hmm.
you know? Like, I want us all to rise together, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Oh, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you're going to look around and be like, ooh, that person's suffering hard, bro.
Yeah, but
And
you
it's like,
did. Again, it's like you were offering information, but were they listening? It's not up to you, right? It's also up to them.
is that okay? Maybe it's like the contrast between like a bodhisattva and a Buddha. A bodhisattva wants to raise everyone, like
Hmm.
everybody wake up. And then Buddha's like, I'm just gonna wake myself up, you know? And it's like, maybe that's the transition. You need to go from bodhisattva to Buddha at some point. You need to be like, hey man, it's too far gone. Like, we can't fix this.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna focus on myself, you know?
Yeah.
Does it sound selfish though, you know?
No, because
Or is
sometimes
that like
that can
realistic?
attract people to
What
that
do you mean? Oh, wait. Wait,
without
what do you mean?
directly saying it to others. Sometimes that will come off bad, I think, or reactionary.
Oh,
Versus
and then
if you're
people are
doing
gonna
it
be like,
yourself and they're seeing success, could be something that people would may want to copy.
oh, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
But what if they're like, how'd you do that? And you're like, too late for you, bro. This is years of stacking good decisions. Like, there's no way to fix that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Because there
That's
is,
fine.
there is no point. Well, what?
No. Yeah, I
What
understand
is it?
that. Yeah. 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 But like, again, it's you can give them that information, right?
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna drop the wisdom. I'm gonna drop the wisdom right here. Okay, you know what? If you're listening to it, this is the truth. Okay, so like having a job is not bad. Like I hated having like I did not want to go. I want to go from like martial arts and like whatever. I'm like no, like having a job is really good. You get paid time off. You get you know
Mm-hmm.
benefits. Uh, that's pretty much the only two things that I really like. You get stable pay, uh, paid time off, and benefits. When I was freelancing, there's no benefits, no paid time off, and you had to chase people down for money, and that was annoying, bro. Like I hated that.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is like living below your means is smarter than living at or above your means. It's
Mm-hmm.
better to save money for the future. And you were a proponent of this. I was Mr. Let's go, bro. You know? It's better to well, I mean, also at the same time, like if you have no money, like you feel like how can I save money? Like I was in that
Sure.
boat where it's
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
well, I'm already in debt, might as well just make it rain, bro. You know what I mean? So like that is a problem. I acknowledge that. But all I'm saying is that like consistent income and living below your means, that's the hack, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not trying to say that like because they're like, well, you're not like a multimillionaire yet, but like they're like, you're not a multimillionaire, and I'm like, yeah, but there is a comfortable pocket to live life where you can like, we don't all need to be like multimillionaires or like, doing crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, how do you find happiness? It's like you just don't want to be enslaved, and that those two hacks are how you don't get enslaved.
Yeah.
Wait, would you add anything to that?
No.
Oh,
No.
also focus on your health. Focus on your health because like that's all you have, bro. Like when you're sick, like you're like,
Sure.
oh, this sucks, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
So, in summary, cook most of your meals,
Mm-hmm.
live below your means, and
Yeah.
save the excess, and then don't be afraid of a job because there's a lot of great benefits for a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you just do those three things, you're going to be like, oh, I have left like psychological baggage of uncomfortability.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember those days where like, how am I going to make these, how am I going to make this rent? How am I going to make this two things meet? You know? Or like, what is my future going to look like? It's like, it doesn't matter. If you have those three things covered, like, it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah.
But you have to make like trade offs because it's like living below your means. Like, what if you can't afford two cars, bro? What if you can't afford five kids? Like, what if you can't afford like that mansion that you wanted? It's like you have to make that realistic decision. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think that's hard for people to like to swallow
Yeah.
because like we all deserve five kids. Because it's so easy. You see movies, you're like, I want seven kids. Like we're watching reality TV shows, and like they're like, what do you do for work? I'm like, oh, I'm just a waitress. I'm like, all right, cool. How many kids do you want? I want like seven kids in the future. I'm like, how are you gonna do that, bro? How are you gonna
Right.
pay for them, bro? But like, they're not thinking that far ahead. They're just like, I just want seven kids. And I'm a waitress, bro. Not that there's anything wrong with being a waitress. I'm just saying it's like just the math. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 No, I get that. Yeah.
It's very simple, but it's like it's hard to do. Like the
Mm-hmm.
simplest things are the hardest things to do. You know?
Yeah. In a way. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, One other crazy weird thing about the blood work. Remember how it's like, oh, I have like slightly high thyroid, so they've been trying to fix it.
Right.
It's not even bad. Like I don't need medication or anything. They're just like, oh, it's a little elevated. Let's see if we can bring it down. So this is so crazy, bro. So my ND was like, um, let's just check cortisol, testosterone, and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, maybe it's because I do a lot of jiu-jitsu. I didn't know that they're all linked together, right? She was actually checking for the thyroid. So it turns out my Tara's like, you think this is so funny? And I'm like, it's kind of cool. So my cortisol, so your stress hormone, your ability to go, you know how I'm like go, go, go all the time?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's because my cortisol is above average. It's not a good thing. But she's like, I've never seen numbers. Your body shouldn't be able to do this.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, you don't even know who I am. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, it's like in Naruto, they learn how to open the ninth gate. Like Rock Lee, he can like go Super Saiyan, and I'm basically just Super Saiyan all the time. So
Right.
like my cortisol's so high that like it's affecting like my testosterone, my thyroid. So she's like, oh, we need to just fix your cortisol. So she just gave me like some supplements and stuff. But I'm like, wait, that's probably why my lifestyle was always like,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
from this thing to this thing to this thing to this thing. And it's like, yeah, because your cortisol had no cap, bro.
Right.
Isn't that
But it's
weird?
naturally though. Yeah.
Naturally, it's not like technically it's a dysfunction. Like you're not supposed. She's like, so like the reference range is like 200, 230 to like 500. Mine's like 658.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, well, it's way above normal. Like, and I was like, is it because I was afraid when I was getting the needle, like the blood draw? And then she's like, no, I've had a lot of patients who are like afraid. Like this is just like abnormally high. And I'm like, because I can go Super Saiyan, bro.
Right.
Anyways. Isn't that weird though? It's like you find out a biochemistry thing and you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah. No, I don't
You're
think
like,
that's weird.
maybe you're like,
I think it makes sense.
oh, what? No, but like biochemistry is related to your emotions. Emotions are related to your actions. It's like, oh, dude, that's crazy, bro. Like,
No, no, no.
why is that?
But
Why I
no, what I'm
suck?
saying
Yeah.
is like why it makes sense is what I'm saying. Like I don't think that was uh,
Oh,
abnormal in that sense. In right, you know what
it's
I mean? Like
abnormal, like biochemistry wise, but
sure,
like,
yeah, yeah, as in like an average, it's
yeah,
different than the average, right? But it makes
yeah.
sense once you put your character to that.
Dude, isn't that crazy?
Sure.
Like, no, but like, oh, why is that person so sleepy?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, they're iron deficient.
Yeah.
And then you give them iron, and they're like, oh, I'm so much better now.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So my worry is that if she caps my cortisol, it'll be like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore, which might be
Yeah.
a good
That
thing.
that
You know?
I mean, it's yes and no, right? Yeah. That's the thing. If but yeah, it comes down to do you want to like I don't know if those are the things that'll be affected, but I don't know how much are they going to bring it down by, right? Are they trying to
Oh,
bring it to the
she
average?
to the average, yeah, because she's
Mm.
like, she's like, it'll just make your body run more efficiently if we just bring this thing down. Like
Hmm.
there's no like I'm not gonna die from it, you know?
No,
It's
no, no,
just
no. I'm not
like
saying you're gonna die from
like
it. I'm just saying there's certain aspects of your things would that change. Like you're doing all these different things.
like what
Would
do
it
you mean?
slow
Like what
down? Would that?
I don't know. Yeah, I know, I don't know. She said because like I fluctuate weight really, really easily. Like I can like eat a bunch of stuff and not eat a bunch of stuff and I'll like either gain or lose weight super fast. But she's like, yeah, that's a thyroid issue. Like if I just like had normal thyroid, I would actually stabilize,
Hmm.
you know? So like maybe that's kind of the things that'll change. I don't know if like my zest for life will change. I'm not too
That's what I'm
sure.
saying. Like the mood of that stuff. Yeah.
I mean, like hopefully it will, because I do feel like I'm like anxious all the time. Like Tara's like, oh, you're an anxious person. I'm like, I wouldn't say, yeah, I guess so. Like, yeah. But I'm
Right.
also like, so like maybe if that goes away, then I'll be like a different person. Who knows? Like,
Right.
yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's so interesting. Like the biochemistry is directly affecting your personality.
Hmm.
So then what are we as human beings, you know? You're like, oh, I have a conscious brain. And it's like, because you know, people are like, oh, I'm conscious and that's who I am. It's like your personality isn't your consciousness though. Your personality is like a conglomerate of stories that you've told yourself in conjunction with biochemistry.
Hmm.
You know, like your history plus your like chemical makeup equals your personality.
Yeah.
You know, and but then like consciousness is just like observing through your personality.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like how can you observe
Sure.
a
Yeah,
thought?
yeah, yeah. Right.
That's
I
your
got it.
consciousness observing the thought, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like what are we as human beings, you know? Are we just like the universe playing a game? Like really though, it's like if the universe is just consciousness and then
Hmm.
we're just different iterations of personalities, it's like maybe the universe is just like, I wonder what it'd be like to be this type of person and this type of person and this type of person.
Yeah. It's called evolution.
No, totally, yeah, for sure. But like, but at the heart of evolution, is it like, is the universe playing a game called simulation?
Sure. Maybe. Yeah. In that sense.
Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's like science and like all that. All right, so there's like Prakriti and Prashua,
Hmm.
right? Prakriti is like nature, and then Prashua is the soul. So like maybe the consciousness is playing the game of Prakriti. It's like it's in this changing world of like physics and it's in the universe. And then
Yeah.
you have like consciousness like jumping in and being like let me run this sim,
Hmm.
you know? The
Maybe.
more the more time passes, I'm just like, I was so right about my life a video game, bro. Like this is a video game.
Hmm.
Like banking, jobs, life. It's like it's just a game.
Yeah.
Anyways. Any things about that? I want to jump into this Balbazar thing really quick because like I'm like it's all tracking, bro. All
No, I don't think any. Go ahead with the UFO.
right, what time we at?
53 minutes.
Okay, cool. All right, so Balbazar. So, did you finish the documentary?
No, I didn't get to finish it.
All good, all good, all good. So he talked. Did you get to the part where he talks about the three main projects?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
What
so
did I go?
he was a part of Project Galileo.
Hmm.
Okay, and that was the reverse engineering program that they now call Immaculate Constellation. Then there was Project Looking Glass, which is peering into the future. Okay, they're still using that. They talked about like AI software that allows them to see into the future, and they call it Project Looking Glass.
I told you about the show,
And
right?
then no, what? Oh, maybe yeah. What's the show again?
I forgot
Refresh
the
my
name.
memory.
Devs, I think it was called Devs. That was the AI looking into the future.
Oh, okay, that's Project Looking Glass. Okay, cool. Yeah, exactly. That actually came out as like it's a thing. It's Project Looking Glass.
Hmm.
And then there is Project. What is it? Project Sidekick. Project Sidekick is where they figure out how to reverse engineer the weaponry and also down these crafts. Okay. Bob Lazar talked about this back in 1988. Okay.
Hmm.
So as they released all the UFO stuff, it turns out that all three of those projects are real. So whether or not you believe Bob Lazar or not, how could he be right about everything he said 30 years ago and it's coming out to light now?
Hmm.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, Bob Lazar is a liar. You can't trust him, blah, blah. And it's like, but he was saying the same thing. And now that we're seeing disclosure, we're actually seeing like the project sidekick is the Jake Barber story. Remember Jake Barber, who's like the
Yeah,
guy who
yeah,
was like, oh, you remember? Like he's
yeah.
like he has the Skywatcher program, and he was saying like he was a part of the retrieval team where they would psionically bring the crafts and they'd shoot the craft down, and then they'd take the craft and like reverse engineer it. So that's Project
Hmm.
Sidekick, bro. So it's like you can't deny any like you poke holes now because I'm like, how can you deny anything? This guy's been saying it for so long. Now we've had disclosure, and it looks like everything he's saying was tracking.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
how can you deny it? This program's 100% real. What Bob Lazar was saying is now proven to be true, but nobody's saying that Bob Lazar's right.
right. Nobody's saying that.
Oh, the podcast people are listening. This is what sparked it. They're like, Bob Lazar's been saying the same thing that we're now hearing about. It was American Alchemy, and they're like, he's been saying the same thing that we're now hearing about for over 30 plus years, but nobody's acknowledging him. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? And then I looked into it. I'm like, what were the projects again? I'm like, oh my god, those are the things that they were talking about that recently came out, like the Skywatcher program. That's Project Sidekick.
Hmm.
Immaculate Constellation. That's Project Galileo.
Right.
And then the Project Looking Glass, they admitted that that's what they're trying to do.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay, so we have had a multi-year UFO cover up.
Right.
Tell me this is not right. Because you're very skeptical. So I'm like, all right, what part are you like, nah, I don't know.
No, who's the one denying Bob Lazar?
No, nobody's denying Bob. Oh, what do you mean? You mean like saying he's not real?
Yeah.
Everyone in the UFO community, bro. It's great. It's like Stephen
But
Greer.
who's
He's like a
everyone? That's what
Stephen
I'm
Greer.
asking. Who's the everyone?
Like Lou Elizondo. Um,
Like they've said it publicly, like with his name,
Yeah,
Bob
yeah,
Lazar.
yeah. Oh, yeah. He's no. They say like yeah, we can't trust anything he says.
Why is
That's
that?
all they say.
Yeah.
If that's so right, you're like, well, why is that, bro? Just like Stephen Greer, why can't you trust anything he says? Well, that's weird.
But then Stephen Greer and Louis Zondo don't work together, right?
They don't.
Or
But you know who the bridge is? Danny Sheehan. Danny Sheehan. I've been listening to a lot of his podcasts, and like Danny Sheehan represents both Stephen Greer and Lou Elizondo.
okay.
And he's worked on the Watergate scandal. He's worked on Iran Contra. He's worked on all of these very famous cases, right?
Hmm.
So what he was saying on this podcast, he's like, I don't guess, right? As a lawyer, I don't guess. I I learned this like methodology in law school, and he went to one of the best law schools. It was it's based off of like probabilities. So you lay everything out on the table, and then you assign probabilities to every single one, and the ones with high probability start chasing.
Hmm.
And he's like, that's how I know I'm correct. And he's and what so now I'm like, bro, I need to listen to everything Danny Sheehan says because he's in the know,
Okay.
right?
I don't know who that
Or
one
would you
is.
disagree?
The
The
name's
lawyer.
you probably mentioned the name before. I just need to see a face to that name.
He looks like Colonel Sanders, kind of like
Okay.
white hair. It's like kind of curly.
Okay.
Anyways, so no, not really Colonel. He looks like a. That's hard to explain. But yeah, so like, so with him, I'm like, wouldn't you have to trust everything he's saying because he's seen all the files? He's a literal legal lawyer who's
Hmm.
worked. He also represented what's that called? Scientology. They hired him
Oh, okay.
to
Yeah.
like defend them, and he did it. So like,
But defend
how
them
do we
against
like
what?
they're trying to like to get religious status, and the FBI wanted all their files. They were doing an investigation on L. Ron Hubbard, so L.
Hmm.
Ron Hubbard hired him. So one thing Danny Sheehan said was he's like, for me to work with you, I want to see all of your most sensitive files. Okay. And then, so he looked at them and they had a lot to do with UFOs, bro. And what's at the heart of Scientology? A war between UFOs,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Right.
right? The Nibiru.
Hmm.
And you're like, dude, that's crazy. When you heard it, you're like, that's crazy. And then Danny Sheehan's like, no. I like I I defended them and I looked at all their files and the people on Project Stargate, the people that like did remote viewing for the government, they're all Scientologists.
Hmm.
And they were working as not double agents, but they were like working for the government and then giving reports to Scientology about what they were seeing. Okay, so now I'm like, is there something with Scientology now?
I don't know.
Right? Isn't that crazy? Like it's kind of crazy. All the Project Stargate people that worked for the government were Scientologists, and they were reporting information back to Scientology, back to L. Ron Hubbard.
Hmm.
What's going on here, bro? And then L. Ron Hubbard's like, it's actually about a war in space between the Nibiru and the blah blah blahs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hold on, bro. And you know what's really weird? So like actors get a lot of access, right? You're like Steven Spielberg, right? He knows a lot about UFOs. They're like he's telling us a lot of stuff. You know who knows a lot about UFOs too? Has done a lot of UFO and military movies?
Tom
Tom
Cruise.
Cruise. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he is a high Scientologist, bro.
Hmm.
Is he in the know? Tom Cruise did War of the Worlds. He did
Yeah.
Maverick. Like this guy knows some stuff.
Hmm.
Is our whole world, is our whole society at the highest level basically a control system hiding us from the truth about aliens?
I don't know. Maybe Scientology is not doing that, right?
Exactly. But why are we demonizing them? Because
Mm.
of, well, obviously we were demonizing because the documentary that came out was crazy. But all I'm saying is like at the highest levels, because we're talking about secret governments here, you know, like what's the secret government that the CIA is running everything,
Sure.
you know? So it's like, is our society at the heart of it contingent on us not finding out the truth about who we are in relation to UFOs? Because they would lose control.
Mm.
Because
Okay.
if you found out that we were actually a part of a galactic civilization, you'd be like, why do I need to talk to you when I could talk to that galactic dude?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you get what are you picking up what I'm putting down? It's like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
everything we talked about, like the COVID, and that's what they said too. I didn't want to bring it up right away because like I wanted to slowly roll this out. But Danny Sheehan said that like yeah, the 9/11, the COVID stuff, all this is slowly ramping up towards a totalitarian lockdown system because they want to control us before they reveal the UFO stuff.
Hmm.
And I'm like, it's tracking, bro.
Right. It's not gonna work though. I feel.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The control system?
Yeah, the totalitarian government's not gonna work.
How come?
It's just not gonna work. It's
But
never
like,
worked.
why?
It's never worked
What?
before. Maybe they'll have control for a few years, but not. But that's it.
Okay, you know what's really crazy? They had a medium on. You remember Blossom, the TV show?
Maybe. Don't remember.
Okay, she was like really famous in the 90s. So she became a PhD neuroscientist and she's like super famous for her podcast now. She's had like UFO people on, like a bunch like really, really smart people on her podcast, right? She has a PhD in neuroscience. I'm pretty sure it's in neuroscience. And she just had a channeling medium on.
Hmm.
So like, you know, mediums like they channel like a medium,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like a you know, spirit enters my body and like blah blah, blah
Sure.
talk. So there's a bunch of famous ones that channel UFOs.
Hmm.
Okay. Sounds great. I was telling Sarah, she's like, this is crazy. I'm like, yeah, okay. No, not for you. I won't tell you this one. Tell Bish this one. So she was channeling, the guy was channeling UFOs. And when you said it won't work, he said, they're trying to make this work right now. This is the control system they're putting in, but it will never work because the light is stronger than the dark. And what that
Hmm.
means is like people are waking up to this reality. That's why I kept prompting you, like, you think people will wake up? Do you think da da da? You know? And you're like, no, I don't think they'll wake up. I'm like we actually are kind of just all waking up to it.
Hmm.
And like, I don't think that it will work. But what the channeler was saying, and this is what a lot of UFO people are saying, is like this is their last chance. Like Billy Carson, the Forbidden Knowledge guy. He's like, the Matrix is breaking, and that's why you're seeing the war in Iran. That's why you're seeing all these. That's why you're seeing Trump doing crazy things because like this is their last chance and they know it. This is like evil's last chance of like controlling everyone, and we're just like not into it anymore. It worked with like World War II. Oh, World War II we had Nazis. So like what was it like the Vietnam War, 9/11, like
Yeah.
all those things that force us into war.
Hmm.
Like we're not in it anymore. They're trying to do it. Like they're like, oh, we might introduce conscription in the USA because of the Iraq War or the Iran War, and people are like, no, bro, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
It's exactly. We're too global. People are waking up, and I think that that is the real issue here. I think it's like we are on the precipice of a world that's totally different simply because we'll realize that everything was a lie.
Hmm.
And I agree, like that's what I was kind of feeling, and then the channeler said it because like I'm into like the Epstein stuff, right? And like um, the host Mayim Bialik, the Blossom girl, she's like, talk about the Epstein files. Like, you can ask the channeler questions, and she's like, talk about the Epstein files because I was so sick about that. It turns out that it was like this whole network, and it makes me sick because like who are these people in power? And then the channeler was saying that was the important part of this time because we need to in the next few years it's not just about disclosure of like UFOs, it's a disclosure about what's really been going on.
Hmm.
And that's why we need to hear the Epstein files thing. That's why we need to hear about like the Iran stuff. We need to see Trump in office. We need all these bad things in order to get out on the other side and be like, yo, this system's broken, bro. Let's fix it.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's good.
It's good, right? And then the Chandler was saying like, I don't know how this fits in, but like he was saying that they had Earth is kind of like a testing ground for choice. That's what the Chandler was saying. And like they tried this before with Atlantis, but it fell. Atlantis was like high technology, too much hubris, it
Tried
fell.
what before with Atlantis?
Like basically world peace. Like what we're waking up into.
Okay.
So like this new world of like, wait, the whole system was crazy, bro.
Hmm.
They tried this before and it didn't work out, and this is our time to be like, yo, this system's crazy. We need to refix it. And what he's saying is, you don't burn down the whole system. You just fix the system.
Hmm.
And that's the new age we're going into. Because if we burn down the whole system, it's a war of the worlds, bro. We're all gonna fight each other. Like, how's it gonna
Yeah, yeah,
work,
yeah.
right? So he's like, all the people that are on the side of like light, and they're like, just burn the system down. He's like, you don't want that. That's not the good move. The good move is like just patching the holes and like moving forward with the goodness, you
Mm.
know? And I'm like, I agree with that. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I I don't know, man. There's like I keep going back to like Tom DeLonge's interviews because like he said some crazy stuff. You hear it, like Tom DeLonge was talking about this. He was like, "It's a war between aliens." You're like, "What are you saying, bro?" And like you go back to it now, and you're like, "Oh, that's what he meant." It's like imagine giving you the truth about like or like here. If you don't even know about meditation, I'm like, yeah, samadhi, it's like a no mind state. They're like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? And then you start studying like yoga, yogasana, meditation. You're like, oh, samadhi, okay, it's the end. And you're like, now you can go back to listen to what I was saying about samadhi and then be like, I get what you mean.
Hmm.
You know, it's like Tom DeLonge gave no filter, he gave no step ladder. And then
Yeah.
now when you go back, you're like, oh, everything was correct.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds good. Let's see. Well, what's going to happen this year then,
What do you mean? Next year?
or this year? Right? Is there
Yeah,
any?
right. The disclosure that apparently is
Yeah.
going to be like we're approaching alien contact. Like
Hmm.
they said, like 2027 to 2030 is going to be. I know they keep pushing the date back. That's why I'm like, let me just wait to see when it happens, bro. But they said between 2027 and
But who's giving the date? Like, how
2033.
do they know the date then? Why do they keep
Chandlers,
pushing the date?
Chandlers, bro,
So why do they keep
Chandlers.
pushing the date then? As you
Because
said.
they said that time isn't fixed. So every time we make a decision, it shifts. So it's like we think like
But wait. So
deterministically.
I
Yeah.
get that, but they don't. They don't know that, like they can't get that through the channeling.
No, no, because the channelers are just like they're the medium between the aliens that are speaking, and the aliens that are speaking are just giving like statement like you're in a time of great change. You're gonna notice truths that have been revealed, which we are. Um, then they're saying like open contact is about to happen. Like it's coming.
But it's been they kept saying about to happen is what you're saying.
No, no, no. Like they said they were all saying 2027, and then now they're like 27 between 2027 to 2033. So I'm like, okay, why
Why
did
are
that
they doing that?
change?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we're not ready for it. Maybe like a war is about to happen. I'm not sure. But basically, out of this crisis that we're currently in, at the end of it, we're gonna have open contact, allegedly. And if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
Yeah, I don't like that when they change the date. Say like give an exact date, then your science is actually real,
No, no, but what they're saying
right?
is it's not deterministic like that. We think of time as like um,
No, but who are they
super
talking to, right?
deterministic.
They're the ones who are coming here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm?
why would
What
that
do you mean?
change?
No, no, because we're not ready. No, I see. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. No, no, no. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. No, no, no. Okay, okay. All right. You're seeing it like this. Open contact is contingent on them deciding to come. You're like, okay, so we're gonna show up in 2027.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
No, it's they're like, we're gonna show up when you're ready, and in 2027, you seem to be ready because they don't want to break our systems. Because if they showed up tomorrow, there'd be so much panic.
Yeah.
So they're like, we need to,
I think it doesn't
yeah,
matter what year they show up. I still think it's gonna be a panic,
for sure. No, 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 for sure it's gonna be a panic, but
right?
like for sure. But I think it'll be I haven't hosted this yet, but like, did you see Lotto Max? Have you been to the Port Union Shoppers in a while?
No.
Okay, so they have like an alien now as their mascot for Lotto Max, and I was like, that's weird. And then like I was driving and I saw a U-Haul, and on the side it was an alien, and they're like, let's help you move. And I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing. They're indoctrinating people slowly to like be comfortable with aliens. That's why the Disclosure movie, Steven Spielberg's coming out. They did the Hail Mary. Like they're trying to like make it okay. And then when they reveal, it's like, of course we're gonna freak out, but it's like, hey, we come in peace, bro. Then it's like, oh yeah, they come in peace. You know, like, like they probably couldn't come if Trump's in office. You know, something probably crazy is going to happen. Like I feel like he's gonna be impeached or something. Like he's going off. You know, and then but if he's in office, we gotta fight the aliens. The aliens are trying to take our resources. Like they don't want that. So they're like, we're gonna come in at the right moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like look at what we're doing. Like the project Sidekick, the downing of the crafts. Like we literally do that. Like you have psionic assets psychically bring the craft there, and you shoot it with a pulse weapon, and it goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, that's crazy. Like, why would we come at that time? Like, they see us as like
But so then, are those
savages.
ships doesn't have aliens in it?
Oh, here we go. Yeah. So check this out. So Danny Sheehan finally explained how they're showing up. The scientists who are like, I'm listening to scientists and I'm listening to people who allegedly know everything, and I'm just waiting for both of them to catch up. Okay. So the scientists don't know how they're like physically we don't understand how this is working. A craft shouldn't be able to just appear and reappear out of nowhere. Okay. What Danny Sheehan said on the new third eye drop podcast, I'm going to listen to it soon. I'm going to finish it soon, then do some clips. So basically what it is their technology is so advanced that they have created, so they're like they're psychically capable. We have this power too. That's why we have psionic assets, but we just haven't tapped into it. So they're psychically capable, and they've created machinery to help boost their psychic ability.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds crazy, okay, but this is what he's saying, and I'm like, okay. I'm like 5 years from now, I'm gonna go back and listen to it, like, oh yeah, that is what you said, just like Tom DeLonge. It's like, oh, that is what you said, bro. So I'm gonna listen to it now, and I'm just gonna watch it play itself out. So a lot of people who encounter UFOs are like, oh, the craft is alive. Okay. So like Michael Herrera that encountered one, like all these UAP like all these people that see UFOs are like, oh, it's conscious, right? And what Danny Sheehan said is because they create the craft with the same stem cells that they use, so it is conscious because it's a part of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they're piloting the craft with their mind. Okay, so that sounds crazy, but the psionic assets also pilot the crafts with their mind because they have their own ARVs. And like, how are you piloting it with their mind, bro? So like, so both people are doing it. Okay, with the technology they have, you know the collapsing of the wave function, if the observer effect.
Yeah.
You know that, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you collapse the wave function. Like it's in superposition. When you see it, it like collapses
Mm-hmm.
it, right? So what he's saying is the machinery that they've created creates creates like such a high probability that they can collapse the wave function at will.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're doing is they're not actually traveling through space. What they're doing is they are appearing out of nowhere through collapsing the wave function. So they've willed themselves into our existence and they popped here.
Right. Okay.
Okay, it sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's talking about gravity as the way to travel.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're like, oh, these crafts use gravity. They just point and then like they create a gravity bubble and then it sucks them, right? Bob Lazar recently said, who's been studying this, he's like, I don't think it's gravity. I think it's a new physics that we just don't understand. It's not gravitational force. We're thinking it's gravity. That's what Bob Lazar said. So I'm like, if everyone's chasing gravity, the scientists, but there's actually a new science there, is the new science just collapsing the wave function and it looks like gravity? Do you see what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. I don't know.
Because they're like, how do they move so quickly? And it's like they're not really moving; they're just materializing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a new physics that we just haven't understood. And that's why we can't like crack the gravity code because it's like that's not what they're using. We just think it's what they're using.
Yeah. Based on our own, like relative understanding of the time now. Yeah.
Exactly. And Bob Lazar's like, it's not gravity. We need to look outside of gravity, but we just don't understand what that thing is yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he said that recently. So now it's like, see, all these things are tracking, bro. You know? And so one of the remote viewers, this is a crazy story. Danny Sheehan recites it. I've heard it on multiple podcasts. Ingo Swann, he was tasked with the remote viewing. I told you this before, remote viewing Mars a million years ago or 2 million years ago. And he saw structures and he saw people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then one thing I didn't tell you, because I was like, I don't know if this is real or not. He said that when he was remote viewing it, he noticed that people saw him and they were like interacting with him. And he's like, bro, what? I'm not supposed to be like visual to you guys. Like I'm just remote viewing it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So what he's saying is that what Dan Shannon's saying is that is the collapsing of the wave function. That is them materializing. That's him materializing into that realm. They've just created a technology to boost that power to make it like more physical.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to like sit in meditation for like 8 hours just to do it.
Right.
How crazy does that sound?
Crazy.
Crazy, but I'm telling you, 5 years down the line, we're gonna go back and we'll listen like, oh, that's what they meant. Oh, there's a new science. Oh yeah, Bob Lazar already said that. Because I'm seeing it already with like Tom DeLonge's podcast. I'm like, or like even the three projects that I named. It's like he said that 40 years ago, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. So it's like I think we need to there's so much smoke that there must be a fire.
Right.
Agree?
Sure.
But it sounds crazy though. Like tell that to Normie, they're like, dude, what are you smoking, bro? Like you're so nuts.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? Okay, here's the final thing. Here's the final thing. And this is why it totally makes sense too. So I cut up this clip and Tom DeLonge was saying it. He's like, and I'm telling you it makes sense, bro. So like Tom DeLonge was saying that the reason why we call them interdimensional beings, they're not coming from a different planet necessarily, not all of them, okay? What he's saying is we see time as linear,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Time's like linear. But the truth is time is parallel. It's happening all at once, okay?
Okay.
And he said that if you create a machine that could jump through the parallel, you could almost like materialize into a different time in the now. Does that make sense? So like,
Yeah.
okay, you get what I'm saying, right? Like it's all parallel. So you just create a machine that jumps from one to the other,
Sure.
but the time is the same.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that
That's dark matter
they
show
didn't.
for you. But yeah.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
a
It's
okay.
true.
Cool. So so nobody said this, but like taking that concept, wouldn't that make sense? Why Ingo Swan's able to jump into Mars? Because he's able to jump. Because they're like, oh, 2 million years in the past. He's like, well, yeah, just jump parallel.
So it's not
So
really
you
the
jump.
past. It's just another line.
It is the past though. It is the past because time's all parallel. It's like the past and the future. There is no past and the future. We only see that because that's where we experience time.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. But when
Because a
he's
lot of people, yeah,
nobody's jumping into a parallel time.
yeah, parallel time. A parallel time, that's the past. So like, okay, yesterday, today, tomorrow,
Sure.
all three are happening at the same time. We're just experiencing them as one after the other because that's how our brain conceives time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can technically jump from the tomorrow or yesterday in this moment,
Okay. So my
depending on the
understanding of
machine.
parallel times was not that. My understanding is that just different timeline. Like.
No, not timeline. Yeah, I see what you're saying. No, like multiverse.
Yeah.
No. It's more like I guess you can technically say it's a multiverse because like that was. Yes, I see what you're saying. That's a little. It's all one timeline, and it's all just the time of that timeline is all parallel. It's not like a different reality. It's like what I said about
Okay.
like today, tomorrow, and yesterday,
Sure.
or like today. Wait, yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in today. All three happen at the exact same time. We're just experiencing as its linear arc. Okay, but I can in this moment jump here or here if I have the technology or the psychic ability.
Okay.
Because only our consciousness is like untethered.
Mm-hmm.
Our physical reality is tethered to this timeline,
Yeah.
but our consciousness is untethered,
Okay. I can
right?
understand that.
Right, and that's what they said about Prakriti. That's why, like, they're like, go back to Hindu texts, bro, because they do it all the time. Like the Hindus, they knew about this, like all these ancient people, and that's why they had meditation as a practice because Prakriti and Prashua, like this is Prakriti, this three-person timeline. Prashua is me being able to jump
Mm-hmm.
because my consciousness is like on all fields of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 No, I understand. I understand it based on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So going back to it, it's like that's how they're able to travel from far distances because they just like jump to our timeline or like jump to our area. And then the technological assist. And you're like, how do you know there's a technological assist? Because literally our army, and Danny Sheehan talks about this, and it's a part of Project Sidekick. They use technological assists to boost their meditative capabilities to pilot or down the craft or call the craft.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at like the Skywatcher videos, like they use binaural beats, like they put something on their eyes and they put like headphones on. It's like it's the technology that's helping them like enter into that state better
Mm-hmm.
because our brains can do it.
Right.
Yeah. And the Hindus talked about this, bro. It's just like, yo, I don't know. I just feel like it's like One Piece, bro. Like there was a whole thing that got wiped out and we had no idea about.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're just like catching up to the truth. Like,
Right.
what are our capabilities? You know?
Mm-hmm.
What, all right, our last thing. What I think is like really fascinating is like growing up, you would see like 90s anime and stuff talk about all this stuff. And you're like, I don't know, maybe that's just fiction. Maybe that's just us like projecting what we want. But it's like, it's starting to turn out that no, that was real. And we just don't know how to do it anymore,
Right.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, wait, what time are we at?
1 hour and 24 minutes now.
Okay. Last thing, because this is actually super, super important. Remember the three tips I gave you about like, oh, like,
Yeah.
say live below your means, blah, blah, whatever. Okay. So here's one crazy thing that I've been playing around with. And I had to ask Chad, like, because those after action reports that I do with him, like AARs, like, how do I do this? How to reverse engineer it? How to make it better, right? So I asked Chad about intuition, and I said, "Is intuition, um, is intuition my body mind catching up to my conscious mind? Because we have like a body mind that has data, and then a conscious mind that's like perceiving the data.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a gut feeling, and then you're like you think like, okay, what is that gut feeling about? Like, what do I remember? You know? And he was like, you're like 80% there. But what intuition really is we have two modes in our mind: fast thinking and slow thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Fast thinking is where your body picks up on information faster than you're able to cognitively process it.
Yeah.
Slow
Reactionary.
thinking, right, right. Slow thinking is when you are able to process that information and think about it. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, what do you want to do today? That's slow thinking, you know? Or if I walk into a room, do you remember this funny story about like when we went on this trip and then like, I won't name who it was, but that like hippie yoga person that we used to know, he walked in the room and you're like, yeah, that guy's weird, bro. That was your fast thinking. You're like, oh, that guy's weird.
Mm-hmm.
See, you had like a reaction, but your conscious mind had to, like, your slow mind had to catch up.
Sure.
Like, why is he weird? Da, 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 right? Okay, check this out. So I was asking Chad about that intuition, and he's like, he explained that mechanism, and he's like, the funny thing is, because I trust my intuition. Like, I just feel like, this is the way. Even when I'm creating art, when I'm like doing jujitsu, I'm just trusting my intuition, right? Because I'm letting my body move faster than my mind. Even when I create art, it's like I can see it, I just make it,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not like, what design elements? I'm just like, what does it feel like? Okay. And then Chad was like, the funny thing is, you're training your intuition all the time through your art, through your jujitsu, through your climbing. You're learning how to quiet the slow mind and let the fast mind work. And every time you get a positive feedback loop on, like, so like something will work and I'm like, oh, dude, that worked. And then my conscious mind's like, log that. Like that feeling is
Mm-hmm.
correct. Right. And he's like, the more you practice exercising your intuition, the better you get at your intuition.
Yeah. Okay.
That logically makes sense, right? And
Sure. Yeah.
I've created a life or like practices that reinforce that feedback loop,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I don't get tapped in jujitsu. Okay, cool. That was correct. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
follow the
Mm-hmm.
feeling,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, independent of this, the channeler from the podcast I was saying, he was saying that one thing that we lost and we need to regain is our ability to follow our intuition. And I was like, dude, that is what it is. If everyone just learned how to tap into their intuition, you just make better decisions overall. Because like
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, you feel like you should do something, but your fast mind's like do that, and your slow mind's like, but then, and then you rationalize your way out of doing that thing.
Yeah.
But me, I'm like, no, literally the way I live is like, I should do that, and I go do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I went to TriStar, and then I was like, oh, this is the correct place to be. The next day, I showed up again, and then Tara was like, oh, that's your people pleasing. Like you just want to like make him think that you really care. I'm like, no, no, no. There's something that's calling me to do this thing. You know, and then like I've just been stacking intuitive and like positive intuitive outcomes after positive intuitive outcome. You know,
Yeah.
and I think that's what it is, bro. Like just follow your intuition. But people are like they cloud their intuition with their thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they don't do something that they know they should because their thought got in the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So quiet the thought and just do the freaking thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then if it's wrong, it's like, yeah, it's not perfect because you need to strengthen your intuition. But that's why I do like climbing, jujitsu, like all these things are intuitive art. All these things are intuitive practices,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because I have to think, I have to quiet the slow mind in order for the fast mind to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time the fast mind's correct, I'm like, keep doing that, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the secret. All right, cool. Um, I feel like there's a lot there, and it's like crazy download. Yes, I'm crazy.
Dude, you
Logically,
asking
it makes
me?
sense. Yeah,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I think it makes sense. No, I think I agree with you. Intuition. I think we should do that more. Yeah.
Or we don't do it, bro.
No, we don't.
because
Yeah.
you know, like somebody will tell you, bro, like, yo, do this, and you're like, I should do that, and you're like, that's you not listening to your intuition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed. Yeah. That's a big problem. Yeah.
yeah. Imagine if we had a world that was led by intuition. You'd have a good world. Like when
Hmm.
I saw Trump, bro, I was like, that's not the guy. Do you remember when uh, um, Polivier and Carney were voting against each other? And I was like, this is the most important voting of our time. Like I
Hmm.
felt so compelled to vote because I saw the two. I knew nothing about the policies, but when I saw Polivier's like reaction, I was like, this is the wrong leader, bro. So I like made a point to vote, you
Yeah.
know? And it's like now we have a good now we have a good like prime minister, you
Right.
know? And it's like all these we just gotta have like good intuition, bro, you know?
Mm.
And act on our intuition. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, because like we have a good world, man. All I'm saying is like I feel like we're on the precipice of like being able to shape the next generation in a positive manner because the opposite side is just ugly.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, any final things for me?
No, not at the moment.
You know what's all right. Sorry. I thought I saw a note that I wanted to say, and I'm like, this is actually related to intuition. Remember when we were playing video games in the basement of like, actually, I don't know if you played StarCraft. Did you ever play StarCraft?
Like no, I think I
No,
did
you were like
one
more like
time.
the racing
I'm not
games,
into
right?
that one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But do you remember like I would be in the basement playing like StarCraft,
Sure. Yeah.
right? And I was like, I had this intuitive feeling that in the future, I was like, this is gonna be this is gonna be like a thing I do.
Hmm.
Is gonna be like my job. Like our world is gonna be in a way. Like I had this like idea of like the world. Probably too many movies. The world outside was toxic, and we're all sequestered to our like homes, and we're all communicating through like the internet.
Hmm.
I had that weird vision because I was like, oh, it's kind of weird that we're just like chatting over StarCraft, right? And I'm like, that intuitive feeling became my job, bro. Like my work from home is like technically we're just playing like StarCraft or just
Yeah. Yeah.
chatting
Yeah.
back and forth. You know what I mean? Like that's so weird.
Hmm.
Yeah. What a world we've like transitioned into. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It makes
Like the
sense. But yeah.
but like the capability to do that is so weird.
Hmm.
Like why are we all in our basements? Just like, oh, I got the thing done for you, and like
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
want to jump on a call? All right, yeah, all right, cool. Gonna keep doing it. You know,
Hmm.
that's literally my job, bro. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
weird.
But we kind of grew up like that though too, right? Even before like what was the point of MSN? Like we were chatting before. This is
Facts,
it was already
bro.
building up to it.
Facts. It was already building up to it. Yeah, but I felt like it was crazy intuition too. My dad was saying this before. He's like, oh, your job will be like you could be on a beach on a laptop. I'm like, what do you mean?
Hmm.
And then COVID happened. I'm like, oh shoot. Well, actually, even before COVID, but COVID really ramped it up. But it's like, oh wow, I could literally just be on a beach and just like do my job.
Yeah.
I just need an internet connection. So random.
Hmm.
Yeah. But you're right about the MSN thing. Like sometimes people like say something to me. I'm like, I'm just playing video games, bro. Like they'll be like, hey, good
Yeah.
job on this. I'm like, just a video game. And they
Right.
won't get it, but I'm like, I get it. And it's funny to me.
Hmm.
Yeah. Do you remember like Roller Coaster Tycoon
Yeah.
or like Dungeon Keeper? Like or like
Not that one
Sims?
though.
Like
Sims.
do you
Yeah.
remember like
Yeah.
Sims? So it's like it's basically like that. Sim City. It's like Sim City, bro.
Hmm.
We're like running a company digitally. So it's like we're not even seeing the actual there's no physical like I mean I could go physically see the company like they run programs but like it's so weird to think that like what you do matters in an ethereal like metaphysical
Hmm.
thing,
Yeah.
it's just the internet connection, bro.
Yeah.
That's so weird. We're living in a weird time. Like what is a company, you know what I mean? Like what is that? It's just a strategy game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the ultimate strategy game. It's like Sims but in real life, you
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, I just didn't want to bring that up. Yeah, any final things?
No, no, not that I can recall.
Sorry. One more. And then the thing you showed me, the city live cams around the world.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
Come on, man. It's a video game. Like
Hmm.
what? You can go into CCTVs. Like what are you saying, bro?
Yeah,
And they're all live. Like when you're showing me the Miami one, I was like, who watches this, bro? But people watch it. It's like, what?
yeah.
Yeah. It's all a video game, man. That's all I'm trying to say. It's all a video
Hmm.
game. Yeah. Anyways, all right, till next week. Daisy Bush.
Peace.
Bye.